Hey, hey, hey.
What up, though?
What up, what up?
What's good? What's good, my
Yes,
people?
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
we're back. TMH boys. Another Light
All
Talk
day, every day.
all day, every day, man. You know it. So, we got some big news, big announcements, a lot of buzz, a lot of things. I don't know about you, CJ. I'm feeling hyped. How about you?
I'm ecstatic, my brother. I am through the roof. We've got some really, really big guests. I don't even know if I should be the one to say it. I feel like, you know, the guy that handled it. I want to keep it a surprise, but we've got some big, big things coming up next week on our podcast. Uh, we're gonna be back to the interviews. I will say that.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
been a
back to
while.
interviewing
It's been a while. We've been
special,
doing
special guest.
well, Pat,
Quit
everyone,
teasing
pat
these folks.
yourself. Oh, what's up, Q?
I said, quit teasing these folks.
We gatekeeping here. But everyone, hey, pat yourself on the back. Because we dedicated, we committed, showing up, and we're starting to see some results. Right? We're making things happen. Good job, everybody. But we got T over there. He kind of lurking there in the shadows, in the background. Big announcement, man. You want to be the one to bless everybody?
Yes, sir. Next Tuesday on the 22nd of April, man, we're actually going to have the creator of My Vampire System, and he will be here to discuss all things My Vampire System, as well as talk about how he got started and what it took for him to get to where he is today, and what it takes for you to get the 15 million downloads that My Vampire System has, accomplished. So we'll see him around the same time next week on the 22nd. So please, you guys, stay tuned. It's on the way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Any Vampire System fans out there, you need to
If you're
tune
not,
in.
you will be. Check it out. It's good. I'm
Tune in.
one of the downloads.
Want to remind you guys, make sure you like and subscribe now. You do not want to miss this next week. If you love Vampire
And
System,
comment.
exactly. So, in other news, what else is going on, y'all? CJ, I mean, again, we're all excited, right? I mean, like, what's going on?
Hey, listen, man. I don't know if everybody's been out there looking at the books or looking at the creations or what have you. But again, I'm gonna run it back and spin the block on this announcement. Uh, Eddington's Echo, Eddington's Entropy, Eddington's Farewell. Cosmic Echoes, and then now Eddington's Echoes. All of those are available. They've been being posted on not only web novel, but you can get your audio versions off of Spotify and have them read out loud to you. And you can also, again, all things available on Amazon.com for purchase. So again, yeah, I might seem like I'm a little calm right now, but I think that's just because I'm holding it in. I think it's because I'm feeling so good about that right there. Gaze at it, people. Soak it in. That's gonna be the next major one. Okay. And without spoiling it, I will tell you this is going to tie into the major storyline within TMH Comics. Okay,
What?
you got to make it to Cosmic Echoes. You got to make it. Tell
Hey,
them, T.
there's so many coming out
Don't let
right
me
now.
be the only one bragging.
Number 3, right?
But yeah, man. Yeah. That's Ellis Langston right there. All right, that's the main character. We've heard a little bit about it, and I think it'd probably be a pretty good time to segue in the next couple of minutes to playing one of the excerpts from the next one. I don't know if it did we play Eddington's farewell yet. If not, I think we
No.
probably move straight on into that. I mean,
I got that queued
yeah,
up.
we gotta get people familiar with it. Yeah, yeah. I really that's how exciting it is, man. I want everybody to get familiar with the story, right? We got to get everybody in on the story. It's gonna go just like a series on Netflix, man. You got to binge it so that you can tie in the other seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna link like the MCU. They're gonna link. Okay, stories are starting to intertwine. That's all I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, again, I think this is a great time to look into my eyes. Roll them.
All right. That's my cue, I think. You doing good, Q? You still with us, right?
Good.
You had a crazy weekend, right?
Man, long weekend. Too long.
That's
Friday
it. Are your
morning,
eyes
Friday
open? I see you
afternoon,
got your
studio.
glasses on.
I'm here.
I can't see if your eyes open.
They're not open. And I'm good.
Said no, not at all.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. You know, just a long weekend, but whew, you know, the work must continue. We must keep going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The life of a hustler, the life of an artist, the life of a grinder, the life of an entrepreneur is
Tell 'em
a
what,
whole lot of
tell 'em-
nights of no sleep.
My bad, Chris. Tell them what you're working on.
Oh, right now I'm working on that boy Jizzle from the Franchise Boys. I'm working on his project. We're trying to put his project together, and we've been in the studio grinding it out like crazy.
Damn,
Shout
That's
out to
gonna
the
be
franchise boys and Fat Boy, man. Hopefully big things coming. We look forward to hearing it. Hopefully maybe he'll come on and interview and preview the stuff, man. We'll never know. We'll work through you on that.
I'm working on that.
nice.
Definitely
Nice.
Yes,
working on
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All righty. So with that, let's jump into it. Farewell.
Well then,
Doing?
I like it. Let's go.
Let me cut this music here. Kill the music. All right. There you go.
Cut the beat.
Okay, so we've got excerpts from Eddington's Farewell, this story. And wow, you really dive right in. You're right in this town, Eddington, and it's still reeling from this mysterious thing, this the null. And our deep dive today, that's what we're going to unpack. It's that central conflict, right? And for the main character, Ellis Langston, it's not just the aftermath of that first crisis, but a whole new threat. So we're going to explore his internal battles, the people he loves, his relationships, and the unsettling things that start happening in this seemingly quiet town.
Yeah, absolutely. The null, it really looms over everything. We get the sense it was some sort of destructive event, but Eddington is supposedly in recovery, right? But you
Yeah.
can feel this tension, this very fragile piece, almost like something else is waiting beneath the surface.
And Ellis Langston, he's right in the middle of it all when we meet him, 28 years old. And even in those first few moments, you just feel the weight he carries. Memories of the null, they're heavy, And where do we find him? His garage, meticulously working on a carburetor, almost like he's trying to find some sort of control, some order in this mechanical thing, Maybe that's his way of dealing with the chaos around him.
Yeah, that image of him in the carburetor, it's really striking. This need for order, for control, and a guy who's probably seen a lot of chaos. It's what people do, right? Focus on something small, something manageable to get away from the bigger fears.
And then in walks the warmth, right? Ella Mae Robertson, his grandmother. And she brings that sweet potato pie. It's more than just pie, isn't it? It's that connection, her unwavering support. And what gets me is how she sees right through him, trying to act busy, unfazed. And she does it so gently, but firmly.
She's not fooled for a second, is she? Ellis Edward Langston, you look like you haven't slept in days. You can hear it in her voice, that worry. She knows him. She knows he's pushing everyone away.
And she doesn't let him retreat. She just keeps at it, gently. You got to pretend you don't see me, boy. She just gets him, He's not just fixing an engine. He's busy hiding, What do you think he's running from the most right now?
I think it's a few things tangled together. The trauma from the null, that's a big one. Whatever happened, it left a mark. But you also get the sense from LMA that he feels this new threat, and maybe he's afraid or feels like he can't handle it. It's heavy, what she says to him. This town needs you, son, and so do I. That's a lot to carry.
And right then, right when you're feeling that warmth with his grandma, the story shifts like a switch flipped. Sudden gust of wind, the lights go haywire, and then this low hum. It's almost like you feel it in your bones, you know? And it's different, they say, from that chaotic energy of the null. This is colder, more deliberate. It makes you realize this isn't just a repeat, it's something new, and maybe a lot worse.
Yeah, the way they shift those sensory details, it's brilliant.
Mhm.
Wind, lights, that hum. It's not an explosion, right? It's a gathering storm.
Mm.
And that's almost scarier. It feels like something intelligent is behind it, you know?
The next morning, that unease is everywhere in Eddington. It's quiet, but not a peaceful quiet. It's that kind of silence where you're holding your breath, waiting, and the news starts spreading. All those strange things from the night before,
Yeah.
flickering lights, the static on radios, even people feeling sick, nauseous, like the whole town got hit with something.
And you'd think that would bring everyone together, right? But it doesn't. It does the opposite. It's like that small town bond starts to unravel. People get suspicious. Mrs. Henderson boarding up her windows, Old Man Withers talking about the end of the world.
Mm.
Even the teenagers are looking at each other nervous. This is something they can't ignore.
Yeah, it's like the whole town is about to snap.
Mm.
And then you've got Mayor Thompson trying to explain it all away. The Transformer's old, he says, just a power issue. But come on, it's so obvious he's trying to find a normal reason for something that feels very not normal. And the townspeople know it. Sarah Jenkins, she asks him, what about that feeling? Like we're being watched. His explanation just doesn't cut it. They know something's deeply wrong.
That feeling of being watched, it's a powerful thing. It
Yeah.
speaks to something more, something psychic, maybe. And they trust that feeling more than the mayor's logic. They know it's not just a power outage.
We get another scene with LMA and Ellis, and it's so good. She confronts him straight up, tells him he's hiding and that the town needs him. But he pushes back, says everything's fine, back to normal. But LMA, she just keeps gently pushing. Don't you turn away from this, Ellis. You can tell he's fighting something inside. He knows she's right, but he can't bring himself to face it. What do you think is holding him back the most?
It has to be the trauma, right? What he went through during the null. We get these glimpses, these flashbacks, that horrible pain of his transformation being ripped apart and put back together, the surge of energy. That would mess you up, you know? It wouldn't just give you powers, it would scar you deep. So, yeah, he wants to stay away from anything that might make that happen again.
It wasn't just a superpower upgrade. It sounds terrifying. So yeah, the fear of that pain, the fear of what he doesn't know about his powers, and maybe even the fear of what it all means, the responsibility, it's all pushing him to deny it. But that sense of duty, that need to protect the people he loves, it starts to win out. He starts to believe something's really wrong and he digs in, starts researching this new threat. And even then, you see LMA worried about him.
He's torn, isn't he, between protecting himself, hiding from that trauma, and protecting his town, his people. And LMA, with that love she has, she's both comfort and that push he needs.
Okay, so then the entity arrives. And it's not this big, loud, crazy thing like you'd expect after the null. It's almost the opposite. This creeping darkness, this unnatural twilight.
Yeah.
And cold, a predatory cold. The sun is gone, literally vanishes. And these shadows start twisting, appearing everywhere. It's a brilliant way to show how powerful this thing is. Not a bang, but a slow descent into darkness.
Right. Totally subverts your expectations. It's not brute force, it's the suffocating darkness.
Yeah.
And it feels smart. The way they use light and shadow, it just makes you feel uneasy, like there's something evil at work.
And everyone panics. You can almost hear it, the collective gasp. Dogs howling, and then the birds, they go silent. It's primal, right? And then the power grid goes down. The whole town goes dark. Car alarms start blaring everywhere. It's chaos, but not from destruction, from this spreading darkness.
And then it gets really scary. The psychic wave, this wave of energy hits the town, and people react in different ways. Some just collapse, strained, but others, they change. They become these puppets with empty eyes, faces twisted in this hateful grimace. They move in this jerky, unnatural way. It's that loss of control. That's the chilling part.
The familiar becomes monstrous. You have Mrs. Henderson, maybe with a garden hoe now, but not for gardening. Mr. Abernathy attacking his wife. Little Timmy Johnson just walking with that blank stare toward the center of town. These are people they know. They're friends, they're neighbors.
It's the complete breakdown of everything, isn't it? You see these controlled people walking with that same purpose, senseless violence, a store window smashed, and then the psychic commands. It's like raw emotions, hate, fear, obedience, just flooding their minds. And they can't resist Mrs. Davison attacking her husband. It's like their love, their connections, it all just vanishes.
It's like the fabric of the town is just disintegrating. And then in the middle of this chaos, the entity shifts its focus. Ellis feels it, and he's terrified because he knows LMA is the target. And we see them, these controlled people, all moving toward her house, surrounding it.
It's
Should we keep going? Dang.
How'd y'all feel about that?
You're
Had you
muted,
locked
Keith.
in?
One more
Picture
time.
in your head.
I said whoever was sitting there watching that was locked in.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly. Had the picture in your mind. That's what was
Man.
going.
There was
Yes,
a
sir.
lot going on there, and a lot of very interesting dynamics going on, different forces.
Absolutely. There's a whole lot. And it's again, it's still in a developing phase. It's still getting bigger. The presence is getting bigger. His powers are getting bigger. He's exploring and discovering and figuring and it, just you gotta read it. You just gotta read it and see the whole rabbit hole that this man's life goes down before his life really even begins.
So where can they find it?
You know where to find it. Web novel, Spotify, Amazon. Go get it. Do not sell yourself short.
Pick up a book and read, people.
I'm
Keep
tell
your
you.
mind sharp.
Okay.
Keep it fresh. Get that imagination going.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, but man, we got a lot of hot-ish coming out. So you need to get started now and grab number 1.
That's right. That's right. Up with hope, down with dope, all the smoke. Ladies and fire.
You just come up with that right now, man?
Yeah.
You practice? Are you practicing that like a week?
No, I stole those. Up with hope, no, up with hope, down with dope is Jesse Jackson, man.
Jesse Jackson. Up with hoop, down with dope.
I know that.
That is
All
sick.
right.
That's some more Rainbow
Sick.
Push Coalition. Come on now.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. Come on, Skip. Yeah. My bad, Stephen A.
All right. So, man, I'm feeling super hyped right now. I mean, again, I know that we were already talking about that, but I'm just saying, all these new releases. You got My Vampire System creator, author joining us next week. And then there's a lot of other movies going on that we can't really speak on unless T wants to share a little bit more. But man, we making moves behind the scenes right now. There's a lot of stuff kind of in.
Absolutely. Our viewers and listeners are growing every week.
Yep.
Every day.
Our subscribers, please, again, every time you see it, every day. That's right, daily. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your friends. We are the new thing in town, and we ain't going nowhere.
If you love comic books, TV, movies, video games, if you want to be, up on what's going on in the culture and hang with some good people, you got ATL representing Cali. Dude, like and subscribe and join us every single week.
East Coast to West, baby.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
let's keep things moving. All right, what else we got? What else is going on? I saw something about like Supergirl. I know CJ gonna go deep, but like, what you got,
Well,
Chris?
well, we just know the young lady who's been cast, and again, all of this in the DC universe, the upcoming movies. We know that's going to be all that's being created and directed by James Gunn. If you're not familiar with James Gunn and the fantastic work he does, just go watch any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Well, no, just watch the first two. 'Cause I think wasn't he? Didn't he leave? I think for the third one. I'm not sure if they let him finish it or not. But I don't know if you remember a few years ago there was a little controversy with some words and some actions, uh, around James Gunn and some of the staff and all that kind of stuff. And he was out over there for a period of time. But I think they brought him back, and then now that he's gone again, they immediately picked him up in the DC universe. So. And everything you've seen from the Superman trailers, everything so far, Creature Commandos on HBO Max. Uh, he doesn't have anything to do with Harley Quinn. That was still some of the old DC Universe stuff. But the newer things, like I said, Creature Commandos, the new Superman, he has officially cast, I believe the young lady's name is Millie Alcox. And correct me if I'm wrong. She plays um, the princess in House of the Dragon.
Hmm.
Is I believe she has a role on House of the Dragon is where she was known. Um, if I have the right person, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% always right, but I try to recognize certain people. She looks very very different right there, dressed as Supergirl, and I think that's a testament again to the way James Gunn knows how to cast his actors for his roles. Um, it should be good. It should be good. It should tie directly in to the Superman movie that we're going to see this year. And it's going to be the first time that we see Jason Momoa cast as Lobo.
Ooh, we talked
And
about that.
that,
He is a
that,
perfect.
yeah, yeah, everybody already thought that, right? So it was really a no-brainer. He was already a part of the DC universe from previous being Aquaman in the Justice
Aquaman.
League. He's a known loved celebrity out there. He's swole already naturally. So, casting him for a superhero role is nothing short of common sense, you know, and to literally cast him as the space biker when he's already pretty much a biker.
Mm.
Again, it really only made sense. All you had to do is make his face pale, give him some red eyes, and he's already Lobo. If you look at the way Lobo was drawn in the comics, and you stick a picture of Jason Momoa next to Lobo, you don't have to do much.
I'm still gonna be looking for
Okay.
Aquaman.
I, I don't know. I think he'll be able to sell it. I think once you see him as Lobo, he's even more believable as that because he's gonna be even more natural in this character.
We gotta
He's just
see,
gonna be
because
able to
right
play
now
himself.
I'm thinking Aquaman. I'm be like, look at Aquaman.
Yeah, till you see him come out as it. You know how they've been doing really good with these costumes. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
From the early 2000s to now, these costumes are getting better and better. There it is. Yeah, show the world. Jason Momoa as Lobo is basically what everybody wanted to see, right? This is going to be, I think, the most anticipated character casting since we found out Ryan Reynolds was playing Deadpool and bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like when everybody found out he was coming back for one more movie, the level of excitement that got hyped up for Deadpool and Wolverine, I think this will hit that. This will achieve that level. And I think Supergirl will be I think it will do better to replace I think the fan reaction to Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84.
The last one was not received well,
Right?
right?
That's my whole point.
Mhm.
That's my whole point. James Gunn is good with the action, right? It's not going to lose nothing. He's also very good with continuity. He knows how to keep the storyline moving in the right direction.
Mhm. I think that's been DC's
And I
biggest
think,
fall. The downside of DC, like something seems off. You know what I
well,
mean?
that and always being too dark. Too dark. They think
Yeah.
just because Batman is dark that they all have to be dark. Nah, man. Superman was never supposed to be dark. And I said that as well as I thought Henry Cavill played the role. I said the reaction was going to dim because it was too grim and dark, not only visually, but the movie had a grim tone to it, right? Superman is supposed to have a hopeful, joyous tone to him. And that's exactly what they're supposed to be bringing back with James Gunn's version, right? And again, the big major star of this whole major universe, David Cornsweet's got to be relatively new, right? Goes back to what I said last week about them always casting a relatively unknown when I was talking about He-Man, right? David Cornsweet, he looks like a pretty good Superman. I can honestly tell you, as much TV and movies and streaming as I watched, I had no idea who this man was. And y'all know me. I know a lot of people, right? Here's the trick to it. You always find the next great talent to play these roles because you need them to last for a while. And I'm going to tell you where it started. It started with Mark Hamill playing Luke Skywalker. Nobody really knew who he was. He had been in plays on Broadway, and his cousin or sister was an Olympic skater, right? Dorothy Hamill. Nobody knew him. People began to only think of him as Luke Skywalker to the point where he talked about how hard it was for him to get other roles, right?
Mhm. Got typecasted.
Christopher
Yeah,
Reeve,
exactly.
Christopher Reeve had been making a decent name for himself. He made a decent name for himself a little bit before he played Superman for the first time. But that's again up and coming, recognizing the great talent. It's like picking somebody number one in the draft, right? The next guy, right? David Cornsweet telling you they think he's going to be Cooper Flag. They think he's the number one draft pick to play Superman, right? He's probably done a few things. If we look him up, he's probably got some professional credit. He's probably been in some things that we thought he was really good in and just had no idea. Oh, snap, that's him. Most of these guys are like that. Hugh Jackman. Nobody knew who Hugh Jackman was before he played Wolverine.
I got to think back because that was a
That's what I'm saying.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah.
too. Like, wait a
Because
minute.
that was 2000. Because that's the year 2000, right? He played that role now for 25 years. Why? Because you can't picture another face in that role. You can't picture another voice perfecting Wolverine's voice. He was a number one draft pick because he had been on I think Broadway, or he's Australian and whatnot. So trust me, he's got a history of professional gigs. He was the #1 draft pick, though. He was because if you recall, he was the talent that carried the movie. You have Patrick Stewart, and then what's my man, Gandalf, Sir Ian McKellen, yeah,
Halle Berry.
yeah, playing Magneto. So you and some really big names. You had Halle Berry, right? But who did we fall for? Who, when they first said anything about X-Men coming out in the movies, even back then, thank you. It was the Claws. We were waiting on Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the main carrying character, when it's the backbone character, it's got to be the up and comer. It's got to be the #1 draft pick. It's got to be Jordan out of North Carolina. Right?
Real quick. So I had the trailer queued up for the new Superman. But you just said Cavill did a great job, you think. Right? Do you
I
think
love Henry Cavill as Superman.
so? Is he too old now? Is that what you're saying? Like they had to start fresh. They needed someone younger so they could do a few sequels, make it a trilogy or whatever. Or
To
do you
keep it
think
going.
He
They do it to
is
keep it going.
starting to get a little bit older, but they digitally make these people younger on screen all the time just by airbrushing their face. But no. Him not being Superman anymore is purely contractual and business decision behind the scenes. Them and James Gunn in the studio house, they just didn't work it out. Right? He if you look at his reactions, I'm giving you my synopsis of it. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but if you look at the way he reacted and his responses in the interviews after they really were breaking the news that he wasn't going to be playing Superman, he made it seem almost just like when a guy gets traded and he sees it on the news first before he gets the phone call. He was like, they really just weren't trying to holler at me about staying as Superman, right? It was like James Gunn's vision of Superman was just completely different, and Henry just wasn't it, right? And to be quite honest, that's all right. That's perfectly okay. But again, when you were already in the role, it does seem like a professional courtesy, for the new guy to step in to at least give you a call and say, "Hey, man, I'm just thinking I want to go in a different direction. I want a fresh face."
Mm-hmm.
Again, I need the #1 draft pick. I don't need somebody that's already got playoff experience. You're not going to play my way. You're going to be Superman the way you think you need to be Superman, which is pretty much going to be the way you've been Superman in the other movies. If I'm giving it what I feel like James Gunn's mentality would be. Nah, I need somebody fresh that's going to take my direction.
I'm definitely getting Cavill vibes though, for sure. Like they look like they could be related. I guess I need to see them side by side, but I'm just saying I'm getting the same
Well,
vibe.
I think that is a basic requirement for playing Superman. You got to have the chiseled chin. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta have the natural brunette, right? You gotta
Yeah.
have this. You gotta have this stern yet hopeful look on your face, like a boyish. It's gotta be strong but boyish at the same time, right? You gotta look like a Boy Scout that can bench press 500.
Hey,
That's
that
kind of
got
how
me
I see
thinking.
it.
So we just discussed that Momoa is gonna be like he's made to play Lobo. Anyone else come to mind who is
Absolutely.
made to play Superman?
I don't see it. I don't know.
You know
Get to
what?
play Superman.
If I'm looking down the list of all the guys that played Superman so far, I think Brandon Routh doesn't get enough credit for embodying, I'd say, a continuation of the Christopher Reeve version of Superman, right? If you put Brandon Routh and Christopher Reeve's versions of Superman next to each other, it was the same. If you recall when they brought out Superman Returns, like the credits, the way they brought in it was an exact homage to the previous series with Christopher Reeve, right? All the way down to the filming. They had different actors playing the roles, and they even made Lex Luthor look a little different, even though they did show Gene Hackman lose his hair back then in the older movies. They did show him lose his hair. And they showed that he was wearing a wig at a couple of points in time just to show that he had hair. And I think that's why they let Jesse Eisenberg have hair. Again, they like to throw those little Easter eggs back and forth, to show respect of this is what they did in the previous movies. We're gonna do a version of that, right? And it like that. I've always loved that. I always thought directors and producers were kind of geniuses for being able to just toss in those little bitty Easter eggs, right? But Superman Returns, Brandon Routh's version of Superman, was literally a continuation. It was the same version of Superman that Christopher Reeve played. Like that whole, again, the filmography, all of it. I'm in cinematography, excuse me. All of it. The way they made the movie, right? They wanted you to feel like you were watching what they made 4 movies back then. They wanted you to feel like you were watching Superman 5, right? So I give him a lot of props for that. Outside of that, I mean, Cavill for me looks like the dopest Superman we've seen to me. He looked believable as somebody that could punch a hole through a mountain. You know what I mean? Like that, the way they made him step up his muscular structure and work out, the way they built the suit material, the way they kind of detached, like what they did with Henry Cavill's version of Superman was explored more of him actually being not from Earth. So how you got earthling emotions and you're not from Earth? I know you were raised here on Earth, but you don't think that somebody from a completely different galaxy might develop different feelings about certain things, like or have a different level of detachment? You know what I
Not if
mean?
you
Like
grew
they
up
got a
around it
little
though.
bit more. I mean, and I get that, right? They did. They made him a baby. He crashed to Earth as a baby, and he was raised here as a
Right.
child, right? And he's a humanoid version, but yet again, to at least be human, but not quite, right? And I think they just chose to play that out psychologically in the way he dealt with things, right?
Adaptation.
In the grim and solemn way he felt like where he felt like he was still alone. You know what I mean? That type of psychological burden on somebody's mind of knowing who you are and now knowing, especially as a girl, right? Because he gets to discover his whole history, right? His father's AI in the ship that he crashed in, right? In that version of Superman, he hid his own ship. He found it, hid it. He'd already known that. We watched him grow up in that one. So he had a whole discovery. And now understands that he's not like any of the billions of people down there. There's a reason why he can fly. There's a reason why he's so much stronger. There's a reason why his body is dense but light at the same time. There's a reason why he's got the type of vision he's got, and nobody else on the planet can measure up. Nobody even comes close with these type of abilities. They gave him the psychological burden of being alone. No other version of Superman played that.
So who's your favorite version of Superman, man? You might have said that, but I don't think you picked.
It's Cavill. This is the one. Cavill's the one for me. I enjoyed his version, right? I thought they went. I like the psychological aspect.
I'm definitely Christopher Reeves all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I can never get over the classic, but for me, I did like Cavill's role and what he played. Like Chris said, it was a little bit darker, but for me, I like Holchin. I like what he did for the TV series for Superman. What's it called? What was it? Superman and Lois?
Oh yeah, Superman and Lois. Yeah,
I did enjoy that TV series. So I couldn't hear you. What you say?
Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark. Yeah.
No. Superman and Lois. This is brand new. Yeah. You took it back to the 90s with that one.
yeah. Lois and Clark is Tyler Hoechlin. Hoechlin, is that how he's, or Hoechlin?
No,
I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Don't let me butcher it.
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois. That's what I'm talking about. Superman and Lois.
Oh, okay, yeah. No. Eddie had said Lois and Clark, but that's from the 90s. That's from the 90s.
Right.
Dean Cain,
yeah.
Terry
Right.
Hatcher.
That's Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher right there.
Right. But see, nobody talks about. See, you remember that show, but nobody talks about Superboy, and that came out in the 90s too, or maybe the late 80s, early 90s.
Superboy,
nobody talks about that TV show.
Hey, funny
that
thing.
came out. That came out on
It didn't last long. It didn't take off. Yeah, we didn't get enough of it for it to really stick.
And how many people have played Superman? I don't have the exact number, but I'm just curious what y'all think. Because if I
want to say it's like 9,
maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah,
maybe 10 or 11.
Like 5. What you think, Q?
Probably about 13. It's a lot.
There's a lot. Check this out.
Well, if you consider who the different guys that play his animated voice in the DC animated movies, there's probably a few more. Yeah.
You got George Reeves. Where my boy George Reeves at? There you go, right there in the black and white picture. George Reeves. I remember watching some of his shows as a kid. George Reeves.
And there's Brandon Routh. I had to look it up because I'm like, Brandon Routh, like, who is that? So it's all
now if you look at him and you look at the picture of Christopher Reeve up above him, right next to Henry Cavill, you see what I'm saying? Like, they cast Brandon Routh because he had a similar build, look, and feel to Christopher Reeve.
I see that.
Who is that? Oh, Tom Welling.
I didn't realize Matt Bomer played him.
Tom don't look like Tom no more, but okay.
Jack Quaid is his voice on My Adventures with Superman, another series on HBO Max. I don't think that one was James Gunn either. I think they slipped that one in a little bit before him. I don't know. We might have talked about that early on episodes ago. It's an anime style version.
Eddie, they don't have Nicolas Cage on there?
They do.
Oh, they do have him? I can't see. Oh, okay. I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
people. I think that's hilarious.
Nicolas Cage was Superman?
Animated.
The movie never came out, but he was officially cast in the role. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Teen Titans Go. I
was about to say I ain't never seen that one.
Oh, speaking of Nicolas Cage, Side note, real quick, while we're looking at all the different Superman actors, that's a lot more than what I thought too. Um, Spider-Man
Yeah.
Noir.
Did you remember MC
Anybody?
Knight?
MC Knight.
MC Nice, NICE. I don't know if you see that on the screen.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying, Chris?
Nicolas Cage. Maybe we can pull that up too. Maybe we could find some footage of it. But because I was just surfing on social media either yesterday or today and ran across Spider-Man Noir filming where he's riding on a classic car with spidey webs and doing some stunt action, and they were talking about how Nicolas Cage was going to kill that role. Because if y'all recall, in the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse movies, the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies, the animated, Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man Noir, which is the black and white Spider-Man that is basically from the past, I guess.
For some reason, I thought they killed that, or they're going to go straight to Disney Plus. No.
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be a series. It's not a movie.
Ah.
I think it's supposed to be a streaming series coming to Disney Plus. The rumor mill is that Nicolas Cage is still playing that role.
I'm sure he is. That guy seems to be very powerful in Hollywood.
I'm just saying. Oh yeah. Don't forget that last name.
You see that? Marvel Zombies?
Oh yeah.
My bad.
And I don't want to preempt it, so I may save some of these announcements for next week. But there are several Marvel movies and shows that were rumored to have been canceled that look like they're back on the slate. So
really,
I'm gonna do some more digging, and we should have some more announcements. Yeah, okay. It does look like you found it.
Which one got canceled?
Yeah, this is gonna go crazy.
Is it from like the multiverse?
Ironheart. They're talking about maybe Blade is back, but that's the one that they're still talking might be iffy. But they're thinking he might be back because the rumor has it Midnight Suns is back on the slate for production, and Blade is supposed to be a part of that. So yeah,
they need to bring back
Blade. There's a few things. Yeah,
like that might be.
We need another Blade.
Exactly. That's what Marvel's missing right now. Like they just need something to shake it up, kind of like a Deadpool. You know what I mean? Where it's just a little bit different.
So look, how about that? How about DC is really good at making all of their movies dark, and Marvel has trouble dealing with dark subject matter in their movies, because New Mutants did not go as well as they wanted it to. Right? And I think that was still Fox. That may have been in the X-Men line with Fox. So that may also have been a strong indicator as to why the movies turned out the way they did. Just, I don't know. It's something about after Disney took Marvel up under their wing. It's like the budget, the production. It's just they're just going so much harder. It's like the big company, man. The big company took the production and made it large. So, and I'm thinking, and I think what is it? The Young Avengers is still slated to be in the works, and I think that was one of the things that was rumored to have been canceled as well. So, yeah, we should see some versions of some of the younger kids, and they displayed a couple of them out there, Haley Stanfield's version of Hawkeye being the girl, like she's supposed to be a part of it. Riri Williams again, Ironheart coming back. She should be, I believe, a part of that. being the younger version of Iron Man, if you will. So, um, just stay tuned. Stay tuned for some more developments. I'm always checking the rumor mill. I always got my scopes on.
That's the source right there, for real. Hey, let me ask. So again, I've talked about this before. Marvel all day. DC, get into it. Again, different type of movie, especially if you're thinking like Marvel, comics, fun, that sort of thing. Adding James Gunn, I mean, I imagine that, DC is going to start, shifting, getting more popular. I mean, are you seeing that? Or because he's already worked on a couple movies,
Well,
right? Or no, none yet.
they're going to get brighter. I believe he had something to do with a few of the movies in the past. No. The only thing he's completed so far is Creature Commandos.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't say
He's been
Justice.
putting all his concentration into the Superman release.
Hey, look, I'm waiting on Green Lantern. My boy, I can't think of his name, but my boy that did Rebel Ridge for Netflix.
Lanterns and
He's
Aaron
gonna
Pierre.
be
Yep.
playing. Yeah, he's gonna be playing John Stewart. That's gonna be dope. I remember
Aaron
a few
Pierre is
years
John
ago.
Stewart. Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan.
I remember years ago they were Tyrese was trying to champion for the role of John Stewart, but I guess that didn't go too well. But with this guy coming out doing Rebel Ridge and he just did like numbers on Netflix from that movie itself, that's gonna be crazy. Who is that?
Again,
That ain't
another up and comer.
That
That is
ain't
not it.
it, bro.
Yeah, what was that?
That ain't it. Hey,
That, just,
just no. I'm
that
sorry. I
looks like
should
it
have
can be a whole nother type of movie.
a whole nother direction.
Bro,
I put in
was that
Green
on
Lantern
Tubi?
DC so we can pull this up and get a nice visual. And I'm getting
That
some
was on P-Hub.
DC, bro.
Oh no, look up. I believe the series is going to be called Lantern
What?
because
it?
it's supposed to be about the core itself. Lanterns.
Lanterns?
Yes. Just type in lanterns.
Okay, I'm getting TV right here.
There you go. That should be the one.
Oh, that's
And I believe Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner should be showing up in this one as well.
I'm assuming it's going to be HBO Max, right? Yeah, everything
I
is.
want to say yeah. It should be, yeah. DC has been on HBO Max pretty much since HBO Max has come into existence.
Yeah. Nicole Ari Parker? What?
All right. She's a fan
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
I don't have
Boris
to tell y'all
Kojo's not
why.
in it. Boris Kojo's not in it.
What's up, T?
No, I was saying Boris Kojo's not in it. That's crazy.
He could actually
gotta
been a
have a
decent
role.
John Stewart.
Hey, he's everywhere right now, man. I'm seeing him just like
No, well, not just Boris Kojo. What's my guy from Marvel's Agents of Shield? What was the black guy's name? He's been on the
Henry
daytime
Simmons.
soap opera. Yeah. Yeah, he would have done a good job too.
Henry Simmons.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, he would have made a pretty decent John Stewart. Yeah. I agree. I think he'd be a good pick for Bishop.
Man, think about that one.
If we can
I
bring Bishop
always
out to the
thought,
forefront.
but look though,
In a
I always
speaking role.
thought Method Man for Bishop. I always thought Method Man, but yeah,
I could see that too. And I
think Method Man
actually
tried to
also
petition
saw
for
The
that.
Rock. I saw The Rock as Bishop, but now definitely, especially since Method been swole up in his older age,
Yeah, but now
he's been hitting the gym super hard.
Hey,
since Black Adam didn't do as good as it should have, when you're talking about The Rock, I could possibly see The Rock maybe playing Namor this go round and trying that one out. Right? Marvel's version
Yeah,
of Aquaman
but
to a certain degree.
but they like the guy that they casted though. My man Tenoch Huerta, like he
Okay.
embodying like the South American,
The
like they
Aztec.
running.
Yeah, the Aztec. Yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing him forward in the rest of the Marvel phases. Like he's
All right.
he was received very well.
You said the
Then let's
Marvel.
give. My bad, Eddie. Then I was gonna say, then let's give The Rock the role of Mr. Sinister. Then
Nah, Mr. Sinister is not that kind of a like that. Now you're asking The Rock to take on like an intellectual role.
I
well,
thought Mr. Sinister had. I go based on like looks and hairdo. So when you said Bishop, again, I might be wrong. I was a kid, but I thought he had like a mullet. You know, he had like the mullet thing going, kind of flat top
Well,
mullet.
there was there was a version of Bishop
yeah.
where he kind of had some long curly hair, and made you think he had, some different cultures mixed in his blood and everything like
Nah,
that. But
that was a
there's
Jerry
also a
curl.
version of Bishop that's bald.
Really?
There's a version of Bishop that's bald with the same M tattooed right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I was
after.
thinking about for The Rock being bald. He could play that version of Bishop, that post-apocalyptic version. Like that's the classic X-Men look of
That's what
Bishop.
I remember. So there's a bald one. Let me see.
Yeah.
We want Bishop with the Jerry curl, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The CB4 look. Chris Rock.
Bring back Stoney Jackson.
Stoney Jackson. Oh man.
Ah man, who gonna wear a Jerry curl to play Bishop?
What's your boy? What's your boy? Alexander, who played Michael Jackson. What's his name? 1-on-1.
Who?
What's that? Flex?
Flex Alexander. Yeah.
Might as well get,
Nah,
you might as well get
what
the
they would
uncle
end
for
up doing,
Snowfall.
what they probably do is give them dreads. They probably make them wear dreads.
Yeah. I was gonna say the
Because that's what
only
they did in
Master Flex,
in
man.
Days of Future Past. The version of Bishop, nobody really even recognized him. He was a dark-skinned black dude with dreads. He was in that movie.
Yeah. The Brazilian
Might as well
capoeira.
get the uncle for
Capoeira.
Snowfall.
Since we're talking about movies and stuff, I'm gonna take it in another direction. How about the Minecraft movie? What have y'all heard? Anything? Nothing? Q say nah.
Not even caught my attention.
Well,
Minecraft.
I mean,
Jack.
yeah, it was. Look, my kid doesn't even ask me to see that. He
right.
hasn't said anything about that movie, and I thought about taking him to go to the movies to see it, and he hadn't even thought about it. And I'm like, wait a minute, ain't this movie supposed to be good? They said it was good,
I mean, it made all that
but
money.
it fizzled out fast.
What was that, Chris?
I said it seems to have fizzled out fast.
Maybe PR spin. Hey, they made all this money. Go check it out. And it's like, hey, the movie sucks.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But again, that was Jason Momoa, and everybody was shocked to see him play that role.
He's coming up, man. It seems like Rock is taking a back seat. And someone else can hop in and take that role, that action superstar, superhero.
Yeah. You got to have somebody that big, right? What do you think? Who do you think should be James Gunn's Batman?
Keanu Reeves.
Too old.
I think Keanu Reeves is picking up the role of I forgot
John
somebody
Wick.
from DC. No. It's a character from DC. Whatever role Will Smith had played. Oh, I can't think of the dude's name.
Deadshot?
Hancock?
Yeah, I think
Hancock,
it's
yeah.
Deadshot. No.
Nah.
I think it's Deadshot.
Deadshot.
I could be
Deadshot.
wrong.
Yeah, Floyd Lawton. That's who Will Smith played.
Yeah, I think Keanu Reeves might be in a position for that. I believe. Could be wrong.
I mean, the original comic version of Deadshot, the OG Floyd Lawton is a white guy. So, I mean, he's not far off. I mean, he just would need a whole lot less bullets than he did in John Wick. But, you know,
I
it
found the
fits. He,
See,
perfect.
you know, he's action guy.
that's a problem that I honestly have now. Like when a person takes on that role and they play it so good, and I see him in something else, I'm always seeing him as that. Like he's always gonna be John Wick. I don't care what else he plays in. Look at John Wick.
That's why I was thinking he wouldn't be cast in one of these because, yeah, he's already like he would give you too much familiarity. Like in a role like Deadshot, he would make you feel like you were watching John Wick all over
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Because again, Deadshot is the name of his game. You know, all he uses is bullets. I mean, he can fight too, but not missing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a few characters, which is funny. I've always thought that was unique. That there are a few different ways that they play a super ability of never missing, right? With your aim, like super aim. Because again, Daredevil Born Again, that's Bullseye, right? But he don't even need bullets. That man to pick up a pencil and ricochet it and catch you in the side of the temple, right? You've got Domino in Marvel, who it's really not even that she has superior aim. She has a luck factor. That's her mutant ability. So again, she never misses. So she does. She carry around some pistols because she's so lucky. She ain't never missed a shot. Right? That's Domino. And you got Hawkeye, who's doing it with bow and arrows and Green Arrow. Right? Again, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Hawkeye he's either the luckiest superhero in the world or it really is something to this never missing thing. You know? Who else you got? Longshot, Shatterstar. There's a few of them out there where their only characteristic is that they never miss a shot.
I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Say what now?
I was just saying, man, anytime Hawkeye gets brought up, I just start like laughing inside and just chuckling because kind of he's there, you know what I mean? But I don't know. He comes through clutch in the movies, though. I get that, but still.
And that's the point. That's the whole point. Right there is what you said. He comes through clutch every time. You got people that can change themselves to the size of a building, and for some reason, he's got something in the quiver to like freeze the guy's foot to the ground or hit him with a million electric volts that he'll still knock the guy down, or an exploding arrow to the side of a building and knock a big boulder into like his never miss is serious, right? The way they display his never miss is he always hits the right target every single time. Right? It's not that he just never misses his target. He knows which target to shoot. He knows the right decision to make. He don't miss up here.
All right, what do you guys think about Static Shock being on one of those comeback lists?
I need him on the comeback list. I need a live action Static Shock.
Pull that up.
I need a live action Virgil Hawkins. Why? Because we need a live action Ebon. Don't make me get into that. Don't make me get into that with y'all. Woo! We need a live action Rubber Band Man and Ebon. Yeah.
Static Shock. That's the same thing as Black Lightning.
No,
He's
but it's close
basically a
to it.
younger version, but it's different.
Right.
It's different because Black Lightning, he actually manipulates the lightning within himself. Static has an unlimited capacity to hold a static charge.
Those are very,
He
very different powers.
stat, but they both manifested similar. Like they both can just stand in the middle of the street and just yank power out of the lights.
Ah, okay.
Right? They can both be just near electricity and attract it and pull it. They both recharge that way.
What y'all think of that?
But
Is
yeah,
Static Shock more powerful than Black Lightning?
no. Nah. Black Lightning is so powerful, he can knock out other electric power based people. I
Yes.
don't know if y'all ever seen, I don't know how closely y'all pay attention to the cartoons, but if y'all are familiar with who Livewire is, he beat the snot out of her. I mean, the girl with superpowers, so not like we talking about, like he ain't really like abusively beat her, but power for power, he knocked her out with his Black Lightning. He beat her down pretty good.
When did that
Livewire's a
happen?
bad guy.
2000s or
That's in one of the cartoons. I think that's in one of the Young Justice cartoons.
was she in the Batman
I
cartoon?
think that was in Young Justice. Superman. She came from Superman, the animated series, which was, I don't know if you remember, it took a few years for them to do it, but it was directly paired in with Batman, the animated series. Because then they also started bringing them together. They started crossing them over.
This animation is just very reminiscent of what I remember Batman being. So I'm like, oh, maybe she was in Batman.
Because it was the same. That was my whole point. They were tied in, but was Livewire ever on Batman? I don't think she was. I think she first showed up on Superman, the animated series.
I'm feeling
But
the
yeah,
Lego.
those two are definitely. Oh yeah.
Look at it. She got chains and black leather and everything.
Yeah, she don't play. Livewire is a major player. She's pretty strong, right? Because she's another one. She could just be in the room and suck electricity out of the socket. Doesn't matter. Like she's tough, and that was my point. Black Lightning's lightning, Black Lightning's electricity knocked her out.
Wow.
And she is an electric-based character.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't sure if she was ice, but again, that makes sense. Livewire. Hello.
Yeah. She got her powers the same way. I think Electro from Spider-Man got his. Like it was just like some kind of plant accident, and she ends up getting shot and becomes this being that can almost transform. If she absorbs enough energy, she can transform into pure energy and travel through the wires and all that kind of stuff, just like Electro. So when I mean she has the capability to be overpowered, she does. And again, Black Lightning knocked her out. Black Lightning is OG. He's OG in the comics. Like he's older than the Super Friends comics, right? But they had copyright infringement issues with him showing up somewhere else. I'm blurry on the history, but the reason why, if you go back to the very OG Super Friends cartoons, the reason why Black Lightning is not Black Lightning there is because of that copyright problem that they had behind the scenes, where some other entity still had rights to him, right? So they were holding it back. They weren't letting DC have total rights. So they created Black Vulcan. but he was basically the exact same. He was basically Black Lightning, right? But they had to draw him a little different. They gave him a helmet, mask, and all that kind of stuff. If you go back and you look at the old Super Friends cartoon, like he partnered up with Flash a lot because of their speed.
That's funny you say that because I'm literally looking at old pictures of Black Lightning. All right, hold up.
Yeah, there's a whole history behind that.
So this is like the OG one right here?
Yep.
I like that.
There it is. You can see it. You know when they drew him with an afro. That was back in the day.
Yeah. I'm digging his whole fit too, his costume. All right, here's Super Friends.
And if you notice, if you go back and look at the OG Power Man, Luke Cage drawings, very similar.
I'll look that up next.
Like some black biblical OG Samson character. Oh man, it was just like they put the black exploitation films in the animation. It's hilarious.
What is this?
Yep. There you go. You see that black guy next to the Native American?
Right there?
There you go. Yep. See, at the top, you got Hawkman, Hawkgirl. I believe that's the Atom, Tsunami, Black Vulcan, and Apache Chief. And then, of course, everybody knows the OGs down there at the bottom. There you go. Yeah, that's the classic. And that's even the later version where they had the extra characters that nobody knew. There's the made up characters, like the dog and the two kids on the side. Yeah.
We need more characters.
We already had the Wonder Twins.
Oh, I got you.
We already had the Wonder Twins.
Who do you think, since we're talking about DC right now, who do you think could play Martian Manhunter?
Sterling K. Brown, all day. Don't even think about nobody else. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Lock it in.
Which character?
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. You know who else would be a really good cast for Martian Manhunter?
Even though he was already on Supergirl and the other joint. Who?
Nah, Mr. I'm on the comeback right now. Jonathan Majors will be a great Martian Man.
Oh yeah. Jonathan Majors could play him. Yeah.
He'd be freaking fantastic.
I thought you were gonna say Will Smith.
Martian Manhunter.
Nah.
No. I wasn't going based on the character. I was going based on you said comeback. So I just thinking, oh, must be Will Smith. Is he trying to come back?
Yeah, no. We're familiar. It's a lot more of us still having to make comebacks than just Will.
Hey, he trying so hard. Gotta give him, respect.
He just got to keep his head down. He just got to shut up for a little bit. Shut up and do your work. That's all you got to do. Shut up and do your work, and don't flip out on nobody no more.
Okay, he tried like Bad Boys 3. He was at like the Grammys. Dude was like everywhere, man, just trying to like get his foot back in the door, man. And everyone like, nope.
I mean, did y'all see the last Bad Boys? I thought it was dope. I loved it.
Yeah, last Bad Boys was dope.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
it?
Man, the way Reggie went through that crib, the way Reggie handled them intruders in the house, boy.
Oh, well, though.
Reggie get to cook that chicken on the grill, boy.
Reggie said it all.
Reggie on that grill.
But not only that, Will Smith is also making a comeback as Fresh Prince through his music, his new music.
Yeah,
I've been peeping that out for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
It's different though.
He's been killing folks stuff. He's been jumping on stuff record. You heard the one with him and Jordan Lucas?
Yeah, yeah. But well, he been doing
Oh,
songs with Jonah for a while.
he's been messing
He been
with
doing
Jordan
songs with
for a
Jonah
few
for like a
years
few
now.
years. Yeah,
Right, but
for a
the
few
recent
years.
stuff.
So,
I'm talking about the recent stuff.
oh yeah, it's dope. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Jonah is also writing for him too. So he's been doing that for a few years as well. So yeah,
Hmm.
Will definitely locked in, man. He's locked in. Definitely
Yeah,
locked in.
he said he
There's a
personally called Jay-Z, and who else did he say he
mhm.
called? Was it Chris
Nas,
Brown?
I think it was. No, it was Jay Z. No, it was Jay Z and Nas, wasn't it? Wasn't it Nas too? Because I think he said something about
Nah,
Nas as
nah,
well.
it wasn't Nas. It was another major character. It was another huge figure, but it was Jay-Z and somebody else.
It might have been Chris
Uh,
Brown. I could have sworn he said something about Nas though.
or
What
was it
about
Wayne? Did he call Wayne? I think it might have been Lil
No,
Wayne. But and he came with the same cliche stuff because he's not gonna say the real advice that they gave him, right? Just be yourself, tell your truth, tell your story, yada yada yada. That's all he said they gave him. But the point was he called them first, I guess, and you know what that was all about. He played them some stuff. Anytime you doing that and say, I need your advice. Well, it's because it's called listen to what I've done and tell me if you think this is good enough to go. And I guess I don't know. It looks like they gave him a okay because that album's steamrolling now. Like he's actually putting promo behind it and making appearances and increasing his social media presence again.
wait, I'm
Yep,
sleeping
he's
right
showing
now.
up.
Because I heard he was working on something, or he like dropped an album. He already dropped it.
Well, when is the release date? Um,
Based on a true
I do
story.
think yeah, that's the one that he's
Yeah.
working on right now, and it's supposed to
Oh,
be. When did it say it released? Did it say it's out already?
yeah. A few weeks back, March 28th.
Okay, okay. So I'm a little slow to the party. Uh, but yeah, this is the one, and I think that song that he did in the video he released is a part of this project. With the song he did with the Spanish girl in the video and everything, and everybody was like getting on him because he caught a little backlash because, like actors do, they had a scene where it looked like they was kissing in the video
I heard about
or
that.
on stage and stuff in the dance performance. So it was like, "Ain't you
Yeah.
married? Ain't you already in enough trouble? Ain't you this? Ain't you that?" And I was just like, "See, people just look for any reason to stir the pot." Like Goodwill is acting. This is acting, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll go back and check it out. uh, and I will be ready to give my honest opinion. If we want to make that a segment, we can discuss it next week uh, as a part of next week's show.
Yeah.
Everybody got some homework to do. Check out Will's album.
What's going on next week again? Remind anybody that might be tuning in. Who's joining us?
Oh, is that our special guest?
Mm-hmm.
The author of the My Vampire System. If you haven't seen any of this stuff on Pocket FM or caught wind of him on Web Novel, uh, which I'm sure you have, with 15 million, what is it, downloads, readers, or followers? I don't know. 15 million is one of them numbers. I don't even care what it is. It's 15
That's a
million.
lot. Yeah.
Looking in my eyes. You understand me? 15 million people on this story. Okay? You can't ask for anything better than that. And whatever it is, he's doing something right. Right? So we'll get a chance to find out what that is next week. live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Ooh, I'm about to go crazy.
Wait.
Almost couldn't tell time for a second.
All right. So definitely looking forward to that. What else you guys got?
Well,
The only thing I have
always,
now is
as always.
What's up, T?
no, go ahead, Chris. No, I was gonna say the only thing I got now is maybe next week or the week after, introducing a brand new character for the book series, you know, and what's going on with TMH Comics. But there's a new character that's getting ready to be introduced. Khalil Kareem Jackson, also known or goes by KK in the hood. But yeah, I'll clue you guys in more about that as soon as it's completed. But new character on deck, new character unlocked coming soon.
KK?
That's about it.
The saga continues.
KK.
Yeah.
KK. Yes, sir.
Find all of your TMH comics on Spotify and Amazon, and now beginning with Web Novel. We are loading up on Web Novel currently as we speak. So you can get them on all three platforms. Check out the Light Talk podcast every Tuesday on YouTube. And soon, again, we're going to be linking with the other social media networks. So you'll be able to catch us live through Instagram soon. You'll be able to catch us on Facebook Watch soon. We will get that all figured out. To the viewers, please, again, like, share, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you. We appreciate you. Without y'all and your opinions, the movies wouldn't get made, the books wouldn't get written, and the podcast wouldn't get podcasted, right? So we love you, we appreciate you, and we bless you, and we thank the Lord that you're here for us. All right. I'm CJ the Beat God.
I'm Eddie.
That's Ed's POV. My man Gorilla Hefe. And the illustrious creator of TMH Comics, my man TMH right there. As always, we appreciate y'all and we thank y'all for tuning in to the TMH Comics Litetalk podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.